I've heard of hero to villain, but this would be hero to villain to villain. What y'all thinking, man? Let's talk about it. Yo, salute to everybody here in the building, man. I appreciate you guys for rocking. Welcome to the latest installment of Coffee and Convo. I am your host, Graphk Raider. My co-host is on his way. I actually forgot to send my brother Wasted the invite. This one's on me. Salute to my brother. He'll be here shortly. Shout out to everybody here in the building, man. I appreciate you guys for rocking. As always, you guys could be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me and my brother Wasted Talent this beautiful Saturday morning. Salute to my brother, man. I see LV in the building. I see my brother Hammer, Jeffrey Willis, John Corrigan's in the building, Bob Rutherford, Kevin Castro, my brother DeMarcus Webb is here, Robert Davila, James Moorhead, Unknown Raider guy, man. Salute to everybody here, Van City. Let's get it, man. We got to talk about this, you guys. Woke up today, seen an interesting article on Bleacher Report that we're definitely going to break down here shortly. I've heard from hero to villain, but like I said on the intro, this would be hero to villain. You know what I mean? A little different. Shout out to my brother Wasted Talent in the building. What's good, big bro? My apologies. I'm over here. I'm here hitting you saying where you at, and you're like, bro, you didn't even send me the invite. Yeah, it's just terrible, dirty work in these streets, man.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Yeah, man. Look, bro, this is my biggest fear. This is my biggest fear, man, especially for, the Chiefs, because I said this before, man. Josh Jacobs is willing to take less money if he gonna win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And shit, if you go to Kansas City, you at least are gonna get to the AFC Championship game. And with him, with Kelsey and Mahomes, and I don't even want to fucking think about that. And this is one of the main reasons why I say stop fucking playing with this guy, because they're putting themselves in a place where they're going to have to rescind the tag if he doesn't want to play ball with them.
Yeah. No, facts. And for those who have no idea what we are talking about right now, I'm going to share the screen real quick. Shout out to everybody here in the building. This is a known Raider hater, you guys, that mentioned this, that brought this to Bleacher Report's attention. So definitely take this shit with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? But we're here to talk about Raiders stuff. So here it is. You see it, bro?
Yes, sir. I see it.
All right, NFL rumors. Josh Jacobs eyed by Chiefs and Broncos if Raiders rescind the franchise tag. Shout out to Tyler Conway. This was published today, you guys, on Bleacher Report. If the Las Vegas Raiders decide to wash their hands of Josh Jacobs, a pair of AFC West rivals can swoop in. The Denver Broncos and Kansas City Chiefs are among the teams interested in Jacobs if the Raiders decide to rescind their franchise tag offer to their disgruntled running back, according to Mike Florio. We all know he hates the Raiders. A Pro Football Talk. Jacobs has not participated in any off-season workouts and has been absent from training camp over his continued displeasure with receiving the tag. The Raiders and Jacobs cannot come to a long-term agreement, but could reach a one-year deal that includes a no-tag clause or performance bonuses that can take the running back salary over the $10.1 million mark. Saquon Barkley and the New York Giants were able to reach an end to their impasse when the team offered Barkley incentives that could allow his deal to reach $11 million. Jacobs led the NFL with 1,653 rushing yards last season, emerging with an all-pro season after the Raiders declined his fifth-year option the previous offseason. Las Vegas corrected its mistake by retaining Jacobs via the franchise tag, but that put the team in a situation where the Alabama product carries the power to determine when or if he shows up. The running back market has become increasingly unfriendly, with Jacobs, Barkley, and Tony Pollard all receiving the tag. No running back received a long-term contract this offseason with an average annual salary of more than 6.3. Indianapolis Colts star Jonathan Taylor is currently angling for a trade due to the team's failure to offer him a long-term contract. The overall contractual crisis led to several star running backs convening for a Zoom meeting this last month to discuss the state of the position. Right now, there's really nothing we can do. Cleveland Browns running back Nick Chubb told reporters, "We're kind of handcuffed with the situation. We're the only position that our production hurts us the most. If we go out there and run for 2,000 yards with so many carries, the next year they're going to say, you're probably worn down. It's tough. It hurts us at the end of the day," and that is facts. While there's clearly some understandable tension, Jacobs could stand to make more money by taking the year-to-year approach. If the Raiders franchise tag Jacobs again, he could have a guaranteed $12.1 million salary for the 2024 season, giving him $22.2 million in guarantees over the next 2-year span. There are only 3 running backs in the entire sport who currently have a contract that's guaranteed them more than $22 million. Only 2, Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry, reached that mark in full guarantees. What do you have to say about that, big bro?
I got a lot to say. I mean, look, man, anybody in the league will want Josh Jacobs. So this is much to do about nothing. And I know that, Mike Florio is a known Raider hater, and Mike Florio is always trying to craft a narrative against the Raiders, right? Yes. But what's very real about this is the fact that Josh McDaniels and David Ziegler have not gotten a good return on their investments. This is one of the things I've been saying all offseason: allocation of resources. They have been known to allow people to leave this organization and get absolutely nothing for them, or nothing of consequence. The only deal that kind of made a little sense was the Waller deal.
Yes.
And I think had they been more proactive, they could have done it more. And I it's getting to the point where I want these guys to just say what you mean and mean what you say. You knew before this offseason went down that you were not willing to pay this man. Yeah. You should have gotten rid of him. You should have just traded him and took the public relations nightmare on the chin. Because if you elongated and you drag this shit out, it's going to be worse. We are going to be pissed if they allow him to walk. Because look at what, like, they're not going to allow that roster spot to just sit there. They know they have no. What are they going to do? Are they going to sit there? Are they going to be spiteful like Jim Irsay and they're going to let him rot?
Yeah, but
I would prefer they did, to be honest with you.
Let me ask you this real quick though. In a sense, right? Because Bleacher Report did highlight that, $6.3 million. We see the Miles Sanders deal. Like, running backs aren't getting paid right now. I feel like, in a sense, if the Raiders franchise tag Josh Jacobs back-to-back years, they're actually doing him a favor, Wasted.
Yeah, they definitely are. They definitely are. But the problem with Josh Jacobs is, like I always say, man, emotion is the enemy of reason. He is on some emotional shit. If he looks at the actuality of what's going on, if he looks at the real, they can't sign him to a long-term deal. Yeah. They don't want to get as much money as you can, because the best years of your career are these next 3 years. Mm-hmm. And that's the long and the short of it. So if you get, 10.
Well, if you're lucky, because his best playing time may be behind him already. Let's just keep it a buck.
And that's true too. And Andy brought up a terrific point the last time we had this argument, and I got to give him his props. Shout out to Andy. He said, Derrick Henry had to lead the league in rushing like 3 times to get paid to what he got paid.
Yeah.
Josh only did it once, right? So like we were just saying. So say, for instance, these are the best years of his career coming up. He's standing to make $10.9 million this year, and next year the tag goes up to almost $12 million. He'd make over $23 million in 2 years guaranteed. And then the next deal, maybe you might get 8.
Yeah.
So might as well.
Yeah. And to be honest, I think the Raiders would do a Saquon Barkley type deal, give him an extra $1 million in incentives. I think they would, just to kind of clear off, get away from the backlash that they're getting right now, they're receiving from the fan base. And let's just keep it real from everybody right now in the media. You know what I mean? Like, look, at the end of the day, man, franchising these days, you guys, in this realm, it sucks. But at the end of the day, man, I understand it. I understand it. Like, Josh, to be honest, I don't see him going to the Chiefs. I don't see him going to the Broncos. He loves being a Raider. He loves his fan base. He has the tattoo. Look, I think the Raiders would be better off. Let's keep it a buck. Waste it right now. You rescind that tag, right? And you put $10 million back in your bank account. Who is out there right now in free agency that you're going to spread that money around? There's no impact players out there like that you can spend this money on. I would personally just pay them and sit them. Sit your ass down. And if you want to take the hit financially, cool. Me personally, I'm not rescinding the tag. I'm not doing that. Why? To save $10 million when you can go out and get what, Jadeveon? I mean, what, Clowney? Like, who are you going to go get? You know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, there's nobody impactful players this late in the game. What are you going to do? You're going to go out and get Troy Hill, who just came in for a workout. You're going to sign Rex Burkhead. You know what I mean? Like, what are you going to do? At this point, I would make them sit. You know what I mean? Like, look, hey, you got the 10.1? Cool. Sit down. Take it for what it is. But I don't see him. Look, I definitely see, I would see him entertaining it just to kind of get under people's skin. You know what I mean? But I don't see the Raiders doing this. And right now, I don't know if you guys seen also on Twitter, Britton Brown went down with an injury today, lower body injury. I guess he was trying to work through it, and he ended up leaving the field. Shout out to Sean Reed. I think he was the one that said it. So there's another running back that could potentially be down right now, right? Yeah. And at this point, you know, you're bringing in the Rex Burkheads of the world. You know, you're bringing in these old running backs for workouts. It's clear cut that maybe, you know, they're going to have to go out there and look for some help here shortly. I'm hearing good things about Sincere, hearing really good things about Zeus. Amir's doing his thing, but at some point, you know, they like to do this running back by committee thing. Brandon Bolden yesterday, I don't know if you've seen this, Wasted, but he pretty much said at this point, I'm a special teams guy. He said it at his presser. He's like, no, they don't longer count me.
Well, shit. They're paying him a whole hell of a lot of money to do that.
Yeah. He's an emergency running back at this point, but he said, I'm a special teams guy. You know what I mean? So without Britton Brown, right, and without Josh Jacobs at this point, what do you have? And Austin Walters out for the season. He's on the IR. You have 3 running backs left. You know what I mean? Like real talk. And that running back room can get really spooky here shortly if Josh doesn't return, or you don't go out and get maybe a Hunt or one of these guys to add some extra depth to this room. Because look, I don't know, man. Raiders, we got to get our shit together. But me personally, I wouldn't rescind that tag. I wouldn't.
It doesn't make any sense. The only sense it could make is from this perspective. If they feel like he's not going to be effective coming in right before the season starts, or him signing the tag and it's still sitting out, then it would behoove them to rescind it.
Yeah.
Because they have a guy that is pretty much useless to them sitting up there taking roster space, premium roster space, $10 million worth of roster space.
Yeah.
But no matter what, man, the ball is in Josh Jacobs' court at this point. It has always been. And we don't know exactly what he's willing to do, or whether he feels like it's advantageous to him to sit out and not get those reps in camp. Maybe he might feel like he doesn't want to get hurt. Maybe he might feel like, I want to make them sweat. But what I damn sure feel is that he'd be willing to take less from a different team, because people say that he loves being a Raider, but he loves money. And what he does love is the fact that, the way this is supposed to work in the NFL is supposed to be a meritocracy. The better you do, the higher you're supposed to get paid. And it's not working like that. And that's the problem that people are having with this whole running back market. The NFL was supposed to be, if you are a star players get paid star money. Yeah, and he's the star player, and he's not getting paid that much, man. And that's what's sad about it.
The Chiefs have no money, you guys. I think they have around $500,000-$600,000, somewhere along those lines of cap left. Remember, they were in talks with D-Hop. They couldn't get it done because, they didn't have anywhere near the money they needed for him. And let's just be honest, Andy Reid, this isn't an Andy Reid move. They won the Super Bowl last year with the late round guy that they drafted. This isn't an Andy Reid type move. Now, Denver would be interesting because, we play them week 1, right? That would be insane to see Josh Jacobs in the Denver Broncos jersey week 1. And, they do have a young running back over there in Denver that they think highly of. They actually have some depth also, but they're going to probably have to run the ball a little more because their receivers are dropping like flies out there. You know what I'm saying? Tim Patrick gone for the season. KJ Hamler potentially gone for the season with a heart condition. They may have to run the ball a little more effective this year because Jerry Jeudy, man, they're going to start putting – they're going to double up Sutton. They're going to double up, Jeudy over there. Look, man, they may need another running back over there. They may need some help.
Bro, they need a whole lot of everything over there. I mean, to be real with you, the Denver Broncos are in a worse situation than we are, right? So that's another piece of it. I can't see Josh Jacobs unless the Denver Broncos were willing to back up the Brinks truck and pay him. I can't see the Denver Broncos being a place he would want to be. Like, if I'm Josh Jacobs and I'm not getting the bag, then let me go get the trophy. Right? The Denver Broncos are not close to competing for a Super Bowl. Let's just be for real here, man.
Yeah.
And to be real, I can't see Sean Payton sanctioning something like that, being that they're paying Russell Wilson way above what he's been producing.
I'm looking right now, trying to see where the Denver Broncos are, and they look like they're damn near at the bottom. Let me see. Total cap space. A lot of these teams are in the negative right now.
Yeah, man. Because, people's rosters are set now. This is a big move. This is a bold move to make this time in the offseason.
Oh, no. Denver has no money.
Yeah. So, this is and salute to everybody in the chat. I didn't get a chance. I just kind of jumped on the air. But, guys, look, I'm going to be real with you, man. This is the kind of move that does not get made this late in the offseason.
No.
It doesn't get made in the off because this is a significant player here. Significant player. He's this guy. You have to pay him. You have to pay him, or he's going to go to somewhere where it's going to break our heart watching him run up and down in the playoffs on somebody.
And once again, Mike Florio, you guys, just take that for what you may. It's Mike Florio, a known guy that hates the Raiders and is going to take every opportunity to shit on what we got going on. Shout out to Joe real quick. Slow day for the media yet again. Imagine if I got paid for saying nothing about nothing. Josh is either playing on a tag or not playing and not getting paid. There you have it, Joe. I agree. He either comes out swinging or he sits down, and we're not going to move a muscle at this point. The Eagles, Hafi, aren't going to do it either, man. Like I said before, they already traded for a running back. They allowed us, Miles Sanders to move on. There's no reason for them to do that. They have the greatest offensive line in the NFL. They're going to run the ball effectively regardless. And Hurts is going to get his carries. He runs a lot for them over there. There's no real need. Don't get me wrong. Josh Jacobs will be phenomenal in Philly.
But short yardage, they have a running back that's probably better in short yardage than any running back in the National Football League.
And there you have it. Shout out to Old School. How is the front office going to look if Josh look in the eye and tell him we are going to pay you less than Jacoby Myers?
You want to know how they're going to do it? You want to know how they're going to do it, Old School? We're gonna pay you less than Jacoby Myers. That's how they're gonna do it. Because they've already done that.
But this is the thing, Old School. I hate this because you can't do that, bro. Like, position next to position, the wide receiver position, they're drastically paid higher than the running back position. This happens year in and year out. Like, I understand it. I get what you're saying, right? Because Josh led the league last year over 1,600 yards rushing. But at the end of the day, you can't measure those two together. To me, it just doesn't make any sense. But salute the Old School, man. Shout out to Q as well. If they took that 10 million tag off, go get Zach Cunningham, Matt Leonidas, PJ Williams to see how much John Johnson would want. But at that point, Q, this is the thing. That's 4 extra roster spots, brother. That's a lot of roster spots. You gotta move around some of these guys that they may have drafted or brought in free agency, or some guys they're high on already that was already existing on his roster. That's 4 spots to take over 1. It's not easy to do that.
Yeah, and people don't realize how much work is put into bringing a player in when you draft him.
Yeah, exactly.
People are not looking at that. People are looking at the wrong thing. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of sweat equity, and there's a lot of people's reputation that's on the line for some of these players, man.
Yeah, man. I think this is cap, you guys, especially from the source that it's coming from. Could I see Josh eventually move on? Yeah, he's a running back in 2023. But I don't think that this is a real situation that we need to be worried about in terms of him staying in our division. You know what I mean? And I don't see it happening. I see New Orleans. I know one of their running backs went down today. I think he tore his ACL. Alvin Kamara is going to miss the first 3 weeks. But they did go get Jamal Williams from Detroit. I think New Orleans will be fine. And the first 3 games of their season is terrible anyway. They got the Titans. I think they have the Titans, the Panthers, and they have Green Bay. They have 3 winnable games, you know what I'm saying, without Alvin Kamara there. I don't think that they go out and get Josh Jacobs. I know it seems as though New Orleans is like the new Las Vegas Raiders because of Abram, Foster, you know what I mean, and all these guys that they went out and got, Lynn Bowden Jr., you know what I mean, DC. But I don't see them going out and doing that. And Josh, if this is about money, there's no reason to leave Las Vegas. You're going to make the most money this season playing as a Raider.
Yeah.
Simple and plain. If it's about money, you guys, in which I know it is, you're going to make more money staying in Vegas and playing on a franchise tag than you would make going anywhere else, especially this late in the game. Shout out to Derek Stoops, man. Appreciate you on a $10 donation. What was you about to say, brother?
Yo, he could be the Kirk Cousins of the National Football League. I mean, of the running back.
Yeah,
position. He could be Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, who's made more money than Kirk Cousins? You know, he might as well, man.
If you're not Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, I think like Kirk Cousins is damn near cooked the league year in and year out doing the franchise tag route. And to be honest with you, hey Josh, if you go out there and perform again this year, guess what? You're going to make $12.1 million the following season.
Yeah, that's an interesting comment in the chat, man. I saw from this guy, Derek Stoops. Said interesting how all the former Patriot players got paid by the Raiders. If it wasn't about performance, this play is about ego only. Do you agree with that at all?
No.
About the Patriots, having an ego and them trying to flex their muscle and
not at all.
I don't think so, man. I think this is strictly business. I really do.
Yeah.
Very Godfather-esque.
If you look at what we paid Myers, right, Jacoby, like it's a very good deal. It's a very good deal. Yes, Brandon Bolden is getting paid astronomical amount of money to be a special teams guy right now, right? I think that he is being paid to be that player coach. I get it, right? Yeah, he is being overpaid. That's one guy I can definitely look at and be like, what the hell? They traded for Justin Herron. He's on an inexpensive deal. But Jacoby, if you look at the market, he's being paid what he should be paid. To be honest, it's a pretty good deal to have your wide receiver 2 on that kind of deal. People tend to they're just so used to seeing Mac Hollins being paid a couple $1 million at wide receiver 2, or Henry Ruggs being paid on a rookie deal, right? Like this is wide receiver 2 kind of money, you guys, and a guy that knows the system has played under Josh McDaniels before, right? Jimmy G, this is a great deal for a guy that was an average quarterback. Let's just keep it a buck. Like we're not paying him $40 million a season. You know what I mean? Like we're paying him like an average quarterback. So at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Bro, the thing that people lose in all of this, because we're all emotional about this as well. We're fans. We love the Raiders. We love Josh. The thing that we're missing is context. Context is missing here. Context. Yo, we are missing context, bro. Because at the end of the day, man, positional value has everything to do with this. You can have a backup quarterback that makes more than a superstar wide receiver. Yeah. That is how this league is at this point, man.
Yeah, straight up. Let me get these supers in real quick, big bro. Salute the Raider, man. Salute Graphk. Wasted front load Josh's contract because he's still in his prime. And let's get it. The Raiders need a full clip this season. The Raider, man, the problem is this. He has to play on the franchise tag this year regardless. We can't talk about an extension until the season is up. But if you want to do that, look, if the Raiders decide, if they wanted to do that, they would have did it already. It's just not going to happen. Their plan is this. If Josh goes out there and replicates the success that he had last year, this year, they'll franchise him again. Simple and plain. That's their plan. That's their plan. Shout out to CJ. I think Josh shows up this in the media hype. They're not pulling a tag. This is a front. They stay hating. That's why we actually building something. The D is looking good out there. Pause if necessary. Wow. Definitely CJ. The defense looks really good. They've been cooking out there at training camp. And apparently Jimmy's having an up and down day today as well. Yesterday or the day before yesterday. What was it? No, it was yesterday. He had a pretty bad day. Threw a few picks out there. Jacorian Bennett got one. Palomalu got one. It was who get a pick? You get a pick. We get a pick. He was real Oprah Winfrey-esque yesterday at training camp. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Salute to Steve Becker as well. Just waiting to take my son to the airport. Finally able to catch y'all live again. Keep up the great work and the content. Salute to our dog Steve, man. Have a blessed day with you and your son, brother. And shout out to our dog Rube real quick on the $20 special. If you were to build running back would be last. You want to have a good offensive line, facts, because that helps your running back, and more importantly, your quarterback. Great wide receivers help QBs more than great running backs. Wide receivers keep the defense honest and send less blitzes and keep the defense honest. Shout out to Rube with the Haymaker special. Always appreciate you, Rube, and everything that you do for our channels, brother. We appreciate you not only for the supers, bro, but for the great comments that you provide.
Man. Rube is the Haymaker king, bro. He points to center field, man.
Yeah,
he always hit the home run.
Elite and Rube be coming through with some shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Salute to DeMarcus. Mike Florio is the Silky Johnson of Raider haters. He is a shoo-in for Hater of the Year. Good evening. There you go, DeMarcus.
For player hater of the year.
Put some water in Buck Nasty Mama's bowl.
Hey, man, why don't you vacuum that coat?
But you guys, I think that this is cap. I think, I don't see this happening. We had to speak about it. It's Raider related. Once again, you guys, it sounds as though Britton Brown went out today with a lower body injury. I'm about to go check and see real quick.
Yeah. Let's look into that, man. Because Britton Brown is a guy that, I was comfortable with Josh. Whatever happened, I felt comfortable with the running back group. But it just seems like, man, it's Murphy's Law. What can't happen will happen. And whatever's happening on our roster, we are losing running backs left and right. They probably going to have to go and knock on Josh's door.
Victor First says that McClendon Curtis, UDFA, looked really good on one-on-one drills. Crosby and Chandler balled out today. Levi just tweeted out Jacoby went out there, heated up on fire in red zone drills, 3 straight touchdowns from Jimmy G. So there you have it. Jimmy went out there and threw 3 straight TDs out there. You love to see it. They've been practicing a lot with these short passes. I love it because that's going to be Jimmy G's bread and butter this upcoming season. A lot of Renfro's been very active in those. Cam Sims looks really, really good out there.
He does, man. Cam Sims makes it. I was wrong. I'm going to say that right now. He makes the roster because he gives that dimension of a tall, rangy, big, wide receiver. He fills a particular role. I think what Josh McDaniels is trying to do, he's trying to have one guy fit a specific archetype. You got Devontae Adams, who is just the Swiss Army knife, the great player. Jacoby Myers, the slot specialist. Hunter Renfrow, the kind of backyard football, kind of dependable third down threat. You got Trey Tucker, that's the little joystick. And then, you got Cam Sims, man, a big guy in the red zone.
Hey, sometimes, Wasted, it is cool to say I'm right instead of saying you were wrong. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's cool to be like, yo, Graphk, you were right, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, like it's okay, bro. Like,
that's not cool at all because you never.
You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, I was wrong. Like,
you know what you do? You do like Christopher Columbus. I can land on here, and this could be Hispaniola, and or no, not Hispaniola, whatever. It could be Wasted Land, and you'll come and take something that I said and say, well, I said that 2 years ago, so that's why I never give you any credit.
Wait, so who's been the only guy high on Cam Sims up to this point?
Hammer.
Oh, here we go. Salute to our brother Hammer as well. He's in the building. They built this team that could potentially be a contender, still questioning linebacker room. Don't see why he wouldn't take the tag and discuss extension next offseason. Salute to Hammer at Facts. Waste is not giving out flowers like that. He definitely ain't. He'll wait to get on the phone, private calls, and he'll give me my flowers. It's some funny shit.
And bro, that's very sparingly. That is very sparing. It's not like I'm up here fucking, but like, oh, Graphk, here, take the rose. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
No.
It's pretty much the same as what we're doing right now. The flaming continues.
Facts. And look, it's still very early, Walt. This is facts. I could be totally wrong about Cam Sims. Wasted could definitely come back and say a month from now, say you were definitely off about Cam Sims. So it just seems as though he looks really good out there right now. And he fit, like you said, that role. He fits that specific role, and I think he's going to be really good in it. Shout out to DeMarcus. This is what I wanted to talk to you about, Wasted, because I know we didn't get a chance to talk about this yesterday. Yeah. It sounds like we really have a battle on our hands at right tackle. They've been splitting reps. It sounds as like Loom is still struggling with these penalties, man. And there's a real chance that Munn may go out there and beat him for that right tackle spot. Maybe even win the right guard spot because Alex Bars, which I can say you were right at this point, is out there getting starting reps at the right guard spot.
Yeah, but you can't be comfortable.
See how that works? Basically, you see how that works?
That's the fucking first time. Excuse me. I'm just trying not to cuss. That is the first time that you have ever, because you're trying to drive your point home. It's it all goes back to you, right? But in all seriousness, I think the best case scenario is that Thad Mumford starts at right tackle and Jermaine Illumino goes to guard, because you can get away with a lot more with except false starts. You can't get away with that, but like holding and things like that, you can get away with that better at being a guard than you do as being a tackle. You're kind of out on Front Street being a tackle. I would prefer to see that. I want to see us having some bookend tackles who are young guys. I would love that. I mean, Jermaine Illumino is relatively young too. Yeah. So, I would love to see that, man.
I've said this forever, man. I thought that Mumford was brought in to be the future right tackle. And they brought Illuminor back on that 1 year prove it deal. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to bet on myself as well, because those penalties really did kind of factor in on his market. You know what I mean? Like, let's just keep it a buck, bro. Like, they looked at him as, you know, someone that can get his team in trouble when the game is on the line. So Illum said, this is basically a year where Illum said, I'm going to come out. I'm going to learn from my mistakes last season. I'm going to go ball out, and I'm going to get me a nice deal. And I always said that Mumford was already there to take his place. So now to see that they're splitting reps, I'm not shocked about this at all. And to be honest, let the better man win. And, you know, we may be having a conversation with him next week, Loom, and I'm definitely going to talk to him live and ask him how he feels about this competition, because it sounds as though it's heating up right now. And I like it, because that's going to make him better. That's going to make him get on his shit and stand on his pivot and like, you know what, I got it. This is going to force him to even put up a shutout. You know what I'm saying? In terms of giving up penalties. At the end of the day, Loom, you got to get together, because we would love to see you start at right tackle. You did really good outside of those penalties last season, but those are very, very big. We cannot afford to be losing 5 yards, 10 yards, week in and week out at your expense. You know what I mean? We just can't do it. Shout out to CJ, man, really doing things right. And the way the defense is flying, truly excited. But you guys heard the story on DBs being told, being told not to pick off Carr. I talked about this a little bit yesterday on the live, you guys, and we're not going to turn this into a Derek Carr thing. But I would say this, though. I looked at that early schedule with the Saints. He is definitely there. He better win those first 3 games, even without Alvin Kamara. Those first 3 games, like, DC needs to go out there and cook, because he can go 3-0 right now and shut up a lot of his critics early on in the season.
Bro, if he don't win that division and win a playoff game, he's a bum.
Facts. But yes, what do you think about that? I talked about it yesterday.
I can see it, bro. This is not something that's outside of the realm of possibility, man. This is the kind of mindset. This is the kind of sense of entitlement that pretty much had this regime to move on from him. They came here because they bought a lemon. You know, when you go buy a car, sometimes you can buy a reliable car, and other times you can go and buy a car and it's a damn lemon. They bought a used car that was a lemon. They thought that he was this great leader, and they thought that he had this intestinal fortitude, and he's a battler and a warrior, and he was a cupcake mentally. Yeah. And that just drives it home, because if you see the way he handled last year, that man is a cupcake, bro. I don't care what anybody says. Any real man can see somebody as a cupcake. You can see what you say, how much you talk. He's a freaking cupcake.
Real quick, man, if my dog Junior is still in the building, I appreciate you, brother, so much. He just went to OakLosVegas.com and almost spent $200. Man, went over there and bought a bunch of shit. I appreciate you, my brother. He's a member of the channel. I just got your email, and I'm looking at what you got, the boxed out hoodie, the Jimmy Hub tee, hypnotized tee, straight out of OLV. I appreciate you, brother, so much. Thank you so much for supporting what I do. If you guys want to, if you guys get a chance to, go to OakLosVegas.com, grab you some stuff, man. My boy Alex also went over there and bought an over-under tee. So I appreciate you guys so much for supporting the brand. It really means a lot to me, because Oak Las Vegas is like my baby. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everybody that goes over there and supports it, man. But no, you're right. You're right, bro. It definitely sounds for real. like that definitely sounds like something Gruden would say. Like, and that's why he's down there right now coddling him. He's down there right now. And when Dennis Allen gets fired and John Gruden takes that job over, it's going to be hilarious. It's going to be hilarious. Right when Dennis Allen gets cooked, they go on a losing streak a couple weeks in a row, and Gruden comes in and the league says, why don't you just drop that case on us and we'll give you a nice little job down there and knowledge with your guy. You know what I'm saying? It makes all the sense in the world. I can definitely see it.
Bro, you know, I feel like they're treating Dennis Allen like a cuck. I feel like that they're treating him like that, man. I would be fucking pissed. There's no way I want that fucking guy around my job. You know what's probably happening right now? Gruden's probably coming down. I got to do the Gruden. I'm sorry. Hey, Dennis, man. Hey, you got keys to your office, man? I got to go in there real quick and change my shorts. When he comes in the office, man, hey, man, you guys got a tape measure? He is up there measuring the desk. He's moving things around. He's probably got a picture of Deuce and Cindy Gruden up in DA's office right now. DA's like, what the fuck happened to that picture of my kids?
That's funny.
I got a picture of about that.
Vegas Raiders, I appreciate you, brother. I know you a member, and I know you've been around for a minute. We don't entertain trolls, brother. So you know what I mean, we don't talk about that kind of stuff. Salute to UA. I don't understand not paying Josh Jacobs from the perspective of we're not paying a quarterback, and if we draft a QB high, it would be on a rookie deal, and by the time we have to pay our QB, Josh will be done. I mean, that's an interesting way to look at it, though.
Bro, that's the way I've looked at it initially,
Yeah.
right? But that ship has sailed. That ship has sailed. They've said that they're not willing to do that, right?
Shout out to UA.
There are two ways you can look at this, right? Mm-hmm. I think that the Chiefs, not the Chiefs, but the Raiders and the Chiefs and the Denver Broncos and all the teams in the AFC West, right? I think that they all have different ways of going about how they do their business. I think the Chiefs and the Raiders have a cap positive kind of a look where they're not looking at this year. They're looking at 2 or 3 years down the line, right? Mm-hmm. The Chargers have an owner with such deep pockets that they'll just spend money. They don't care. He doesn't have deep pockets, but he's trying to win, right? Yeah. And then you look at the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos are in flux, and they have a new ownership group coming in. So you don't know how much money they're actually willing to spend.
You talking about Spranos, right? I thought he owned the Chargers.
I messed up. Kroenke owned the Rams, but I was saying he's trying to prove himself in the LA market. Yeah, so he's spinning like a drunken sailor to prove himself up against the Rams. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I think the Raiders, no matter what, they always want to have a surplus of money just in case. They want to be like loosened to be able to make a move if need be, like the Patriots always were.
Shout out to Big Slim, our resident wasted talent doppelganger. Seriously, Josh Jacobs to the Broncos. The Chiefs say it ain't so. It's not so, Big Slim. It's this cap, bro. I don't see any way that this happens, especially this late in the game. It's just a known Raider hater writing an article or doing a show and doing what he does best, which is talk shit about us and trying to pinpoint Jacobs to a divisional rival. You know what I'm saying? I think it's cap. Shout out to JT, man. Don't get too excited about the picks in camp. A pro QB like Jimmy is pushing the ceiling of his offense, using practice the right way, not being safe. I like that, JT. I definitely do. But also, I do want to give some flowers to our defense for making plays. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, this is the best time for him to knock the rust off in camp. But maybe this is a good sign that our defense is doing their thing. You know what I mean? And it's about time. Shit, it's been forever since we've had some ball hawks on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm hoping that it's a little bit Jimmy, a little bit defense. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. Let me see. Shout out to everybody here in the building. Elite is in the building as well. Salute to our Mount Shieldmore sis in the building. Broncos have ownership with the most money, period. The Waltons are one of the wealthiest families in the world. Yeah, they own Walmart.
We understand that. But the thing is that they have to see what that metric looks like as far as money. Now, the Waltons are already in the football business because Stan Kroenke is married to the Waltons' daughter. Yeah. So they understand. But what I'm saying is that when you have a new ownership group, they're not going to come in and they're not going to spend money like drunken sailors. They really come in and they kind of, it depends on what kind of ownership group you have, right? A lot of the times they come in, they see how it works out the first year or two, and then they go about their business from that perspective. Like when Kroenke first came in, Kroenke kind of, he looked at what was going on with the Rams, and then he started spending like crazy after about a year. So I think that's what has a lot to do with it. I think the Broncos are going to go into this and they're going to see what they have on the roster, and then they're going to start spending probably after the Russell Wilson deal is done.
I can see that. Shout out to Tyler. Yes, people tend to forget that he missed a lot of football last season. He's still very rusty. He hasn't played, since like week 11 or some shit? Or I don't know how long it's been. It could have been longer than that. But he hasn't played football in a while. And he's getting reacclimated to a system where he hasn't played in 6 years. So it's going to take some time. You know what I mean? Definitely. Shout out to Tyler, man. Shout out to Okie, our dog, on the $5 donation. I bet Josh staying gone so he doesn't get put in preseason games again. Week 1 will most likely be when we see him. Hopefully I'm wrong. Well, at the end of the day, he's not sitting out because of that. At the end of the day, he wouldn't get put out there this year again. They can't make that same mistake twice. Yeah. Hall of Fame game, then rolling him out. That would be insane. I don't know what kind of message you would try to send to this fan base and to your organization, putting them out there during the preseason. I just think, man, Okie right now, he's just trying to stand on his 10, you know what I mean? And trying to prove a point. But at the end of the day, when it gets to a situation where when it gets to the point where it's like, okay, my point, there's nowhere else I can drive this point to. Let me just pop back in because I need to get my money. If it's all about money, which it is, if it's all about money, he's going to pop back up when money is an issue. And when week 1 is when you start losing money.
Yeah.
He will be back by then because this is all about money.
I think a piece of this could be the security issue too, right? Him being at home and not taking bumps and being in practice is his security.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's his security. You know, him kind of, mitigating the hits and the punishment he's taking. The only thing is that I wonder, because teams don't just roll out with the same exact offensive terminology. He's missing really critical reps right now. He's missing timing with the quarterback. There's a lot at stake here, man. And if he wants to be his best, he should probably come into camp.
Yeah, and to be honest, what do you think about this, Wasted? What happens if Zeus continues the ball, goes into preseason and just balls out, and he wins that running back 1 spot? Do you think that they're going to just throw Josh out there week 1 without any real reps?
No, you can't, man. You can't. You don't know what kind of football shape he's in. And I'm going to be real with you, man. The archetype for this kind of a scenario, and TJ Houshmandzadeh said this, is Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler's a guy who was a 6th-round pick, and was drafted really low, and they were in the throes of a contract dispute with Melvin Gordon when he was at the top of his powers. Yep. And the Chargers decided to go that route with Austin Eckler, and he took off, and they jettisoned Melvin Gordon, and now he's a journeyman pretty much outside of the league at this point.
Yep.
And now, man, I wonder, man, could Josh be risking the better part of his career?
Yeah. Facts, bro. Definitely facts. Shout out to our brother David Zahn, as always. Man, soft tissue injuries happen when you miss camp. A lot happens, Zahn, when you miss camp, man. And look, there's a difference between being ready and being ready, right? They always say that there's the old cliche, you may be in shape, but you're not in football shape. That's true.
That's a fact.
True.
Anyone is getting hit, getting those raspberries and them bruises and shit all over you. Remember how it was when you first had your first couple of practices, you'd have raspberries on your shins, your forearms and stuff like that. And by the middle of the season, you didn't even feel it anymore.
Bro, it's a violent sport. And you got to be prepared for it. I don't care if you're a veteran. You got to get out there early with your team, get rolling. One thing that people tend to forget also is Jimmy G has no rapport with Josh Jacobs at this point. He has not handed the ball off to Josh once. At the end of the day, I know, Josh is a great running back. I know Jimmy, like we always say, an average quarterback at best, right? A guy that is a proven winner, but he's not a superstar in the league. But they need to get out there and get flowing together as well. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a rapport with your quarterback.
Timing, man, handing that football off.
Yeah.
Which way you taking it? All of that stuff is what practice is about. Like, people don't realize, man, people always talk about how we play. The playing in a game is the reward to all the work that's been put in the offseason.
Yeah.
That's just the reward. Playing on a week in and week out basis is the fun part.
Yeah.
The work happens now. And him not being there, the rapport that happens now. You don't get that playing in a game, bro.
And this is the thing that a lot of people don't really realize as well. Wasted to tell me what you think about this is our offense was different last season. They realized they didn't have what they thought they had in the quarterback, so they had to move some things around, and Josh became that workhorse. This year it's going to be a lot different. This is going to be a totally different offense. It's going to be ran the way Josh McDaniels wants his offense ran, right? So Josh Jacobs needs to get out there because this is going to be a different offense. This is not going to be the same offense that we seen last year, you guys. Right when they seen that DC could not carry, whatever weight that Josh McDaniels wanted him to carry for that offense last year, they had to do some different things. I seen him do it with Cam Newton, in New England, where he had to change his offense around and cater to him a little bit. He tried to cater to Derek last year. It didn't work. This year, the offense is going to be totally, totally different. So I would expect Jacobs to try and get out there a little early to get acclimated to what's going on. You know what I mean?
Josh is a pitch count running back. He's a high pitch count running back, man. He's a guy that the more carries you get, the stronger he gets as the game goes on. Now, I think Josh McDaniels and David Ziegler feel more comfortable. And if you can ask them what their ideal scenario is, it would be probably the ratio of a 60-40 kind of a thing where you're passing the ball 60% of the time. They value short passes the same as they value runs. Mm-hmm. And they feel like, they're able to do more with that. They get players in space better that way. That's why people look, man, when you get these talented guys in space and they have one or two guys to beat as opposed to having to run through a defensive line and get through linebackers and defensive backs, it's a little different. You get more of a bang for you get more return on your investment as far as, whatever play you call.
Yeah.
I think Josh it's going to look a totally different what they're going to do with him this year because now you have an accurate guy. You have a guy that can run this offense, that's going to stand in the pocket, that's going to, deliver the football, and he's not going to be throwing, helium balls. Yeah. So, man, I'm going to be real with you. This could be a turning point for Josh Jacobs if he doesn't come into camp, because he could come into camp late and look like a fucking scrub this year.
Yeah.
I know it's not likely, but he could.
You know what's funny, too? I don't think at Alabama, he didn't get a lot of reps. Like at all. So when he came into the league, he got bruised up and he got hurt pretty quick. Like he was hurt pretty early on in his career. Now that he's used to the speed of the game and the violence of the game. Yeah, last year he had a hell of a year for us. He stayed healthy. He fought through injuries, so on and so forth. But he didn't get a ton of reps at Alabama. That's what a lot of people tend to forget. What I mean?
Like 65 carries at Alabama, like around that. I remember that number because I looked that up the other day. He didn't get a lot of reps. He
eclipsed that last year alone.
Yeah. So because you figure, he didn't play much as a freshman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He didn't play a whole and then not for nothing. Even his last year at Alabama, he was splitting carries.
Yeah.
He wasn't necessarily the feature back there as well.
He was like the third back.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah.
That's why it was such an outlier for the Raiders to take him when they did.
Yeah.
That's the only time that Gruden and them did this whole lightning striking and taking a guy that nobody thought they should have, and it worked.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, because you taking the third back at Alabama and hoping that it hits, and it did hit, and now we're in this situation where we have the leading rusher in the league last year trying to hold out. Let me see, had less than 700 yards his last year. Yeah, Walt, this is facts.
Yeah, like 600 something yards or something like that.
Somewhere along those lines. Salute to everybody in the building. He said Josh was in a high-speed car accident too. Hafi, that's not true.
Yeah.
At the airport in Vegas, it's a weird turn where he ran into that wall. I don't know if there was an accident early on in Oklahoma where he was in Tulsa, but if you're talking about the one in Vegas, that wasn't. Yeah, he hit his head a little bit. Blah, right?
Yeah, that was super bogus.
Yeah, but that was some bullshit. Let me see. As much as I want Jimmy G to do good, I know he ain't. It's going to be a shit year. Shout out to Isaiah with the negativity and the violence this morning. Salute to the 500 plus people still in the building, man. We appreciate you guys so much for rocking with us. Make sure you wipe them feet, meaning hit them thumbs up, pay your bar tabs on Wastes channel. If you guys are not subscribed to both channels, what are you guys waiting on? OakLosVegas Raiders Network, Raider Nation Unlimited. Hit the sub button. It's free. It definitely helps us both out. We appreciate you guys so much, man. What else we got going on out there in Raider world right now? We've been kind of talking about the tweets. Not really too much going on out there.
What about the top 100 real quick on the way out, man?
Oh yeah, you know what? I never got a chance to talk about that.
Yeah, I was going to talk about it on I was going to do a show last night. I want to fall asleep, but yeah, let's do it now, man. Really quickly, man. What'd you think, man?
I love it. It's insane to see a 6-11 team have 3 top 20 NFL players. You know what I mean? And I think they got it right with Max, where he was 17, I believe.
Yeah.
I think Devontae was around 13.
Yeah, Josh was 12, right? Josh was one ahead of him.
Yeah, it was one ahead of him. We had back-to-back guys. I think they got it right. I know a lot of people were kind of stressing about, Josh should have been higher because of the year he had. Devontae, I think that they were actually perfect, to be honest, because Devontae had a great year last year, but he also did that effectively with bad quarterback play. If he would have had really good quarterback play, he probably would have been in the top 10 easy peasy, right? But I thought they kind of had it right, bro. 12, 13, 17, or 17, 18, somewhere along those lines.
Yeah, I mean, because if you're gonna put quarterbacks at the top of the food chain, you can put Patrick Mahomes and all them guys. Yeah. That's pretty much where you're gonna sit. The thing to me that is very, very interesting is the fact that you have so many people that feel like there's no possible way the Raiders can turn it around this year. I get people every day that are so negative in my comments. They don't believe in this team, and this team sucks, and all this stuff, right?
Shout out to Robert Davina.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, the fucking Raider, the black cloud of Raider Nation, Robert Davina. I mean, every day I be feeling positive about this team, and I like Rob because he always comments, he supports us. He's a guy. He's welcome in my chat any day. But Robert, man, you ruin my day daily. I just want to let you know that, man.
Yeah.
It's like a kick in the nuts every day, Robert DeVia
No,
comment.
no, but you know what he does? Robert is a goat because he'll do it in the comment section and then wait till the show is over and then comment in the comment section on the actual
That's
video.
right. He's like, yo, unless you forgot, this team is ass wasted.
Yeah, and the hate is endless, and I'm here for it. I'm not even mad. Not even mad.
He's like, bibbity blah blah. This Raiders suck.
Snoop Dogg got a fucking boo job.
Bibbity blah.
Yo, real quick, shout out to our boy John, man. Josh said honored. Yes, he did on Twitter on his top 100 placement. I hope this young man realizes last year was possible because of his prep and time with the team. Raider Nation for life. This is facts, John. Facts plus tax. And definitely give his O-line a little bit of praise as well for helping him with those 1,600 yards rushing.
Best running back, Tyler told him, our best running back in history. You forget about Marcus Allen, brother?
Are we? Yeah, and
Bo Jackson.
Bo would have been the greatest if he didn't get hurt.
Yeah, you forget about Bo. Stop.
I'm sorry. There's no way in hell you can put Josh Jacobs over Marcus Allen. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, out of your mind, bro. I mean, look, Tyler. I fuck with you, Tyler, but not over Marcus Allen.
But let me ask you this, Tyler. How old are you? What era are you from? Are you from like the Josh, Derek Carr, Khalil Mack, like that era? Are you younger?
Because if he's like 25 years old, 23, he don't know nothing about no Marcus Allen.
Yeah, because if you grew up the way we grew up, bro, Marcus Allen is just different.
Bro, Marcus Allen is probably one of the 5 best running backs in the history of the National Football League.
Run game, pass game, just different.
Yeah, he's 36, different. So you should know better, Tyler.
Okay, 30. Damn, Tyler, come on, my brother.
Tyler.
Come on, my brother. Better. You got to chill with that content. Shout out to Junior, man. Jacoby Myers touchdown throw to Adams. New trick plays. Hold on, wait, what? Let me see. I want to see this. Was there somewhere? Did this really happen? I just seen that Marcus Peters came up with another pick too. Okay, so Jimmy G in the red zone today on 7-on-7, you guys. 7 for 8 passing, 3 TDs. That is different from what we once had. Jacoby Myers completion, Devontae Adams incomplete, Myers completion, Myers TD. Philip Dorsett TD. Okay, a Philip Dorsett sighting. It's been really quiet on the front with Philip, and at this point, I don't think he's going to make this roster. Dorsett completion, Amir Abdullah completion.
It's been really quiet on more ways than you know on the Philip Dorsett.
And this is the second day in a row, too. Yeah, I know, right? Second day in a row, you guys. I don't know why Duke Shelley and David Long Jr. are not out there, but Ike Brown wasn't out there again today. John Jenkins wasn't out there, the veteran. He probably got a day off. And Brandon Faison is still not back from his injury, but we heard it's not serious, so he should be back soon. But it's interesting. I want to know what the hell is going on with Duke Shelley and David Long Jr. at this point. You know what I'm saying? You know,
that's so early in camp, bro. These dudes will be all right, man. I ain't sweating it. You know what I mean? These guys, get dinged up or get a raspberry or some shit like that. They want to keep them fresh. So I ain't worried.
Let me see. Tashawn tweeted out, Britton Brown had to leave practice early today. He looked to be in some sort of discomfort during warm-ups, tried to keep going, but ultimately had to come off the field. So that's what we were talking about earlier. I don't see anything about a Marcus Peters interception or a trick play like that. I don't – let me see. Jacoby used to be a quarterback. This is facts. He definitely used to be a QB. So maybe they were just talking about okay. Junior's saying what could happen. Not what did happen. I got you, Junior. Shout out to my dog. Shout out to John as well. Marcus Allen reversing the field on the Redskins in a bowl, 83-84 Super Bowl. Oh, my God, bro. Was like the whole team asking for my hand in marriage. Been a bumpy but faithful ride since. That was the week I was born.
Running with the night.
That was the weekend I was born. That was the week I was born. Was that week.
That's the first Super Bowl I vividly remember.
Yeah.
That's the first Super Bowl I vividly remember, man.
Shout out to Maul. Yes, man. Jacorian Bennett is out there killing shit. We it sounds as though we definitely got it right with the fourth round corner out of Maryland, man. Shout out to JT. My grandma just turned 96. She said wasted makes her hot and bothered. Also, she has a signed jockstrap from Mean Joe Green.
I threw up in my mouth, JT.
Yo, that shit is.
That's the only black man make me moist.
Hey, real quick too, you guys. Salute. I will be in Vegas next weekend. A lot of people have been DMing me asking where the parties and everything. I will give you guys some updates. We have some stuff on Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. Stay tuned. I will be dropping some flyers here in the next few days. We're going to be all over the place, but I will definitely keep you guys updated of where we are. Me and Big Mike will be out there. B will be out there. Stu will be out there. I know Wasted was trying. I know he got a lot going on, with work and everything else. So it's going to be very tough for him. That's New York to Vegas. That's a whole nother type of trip. But, we're
look, I'm a rider, bro. You know how I do, man.
Nah, yeah. Well, if he was a rider, if he was a rider, you'd be out there. You know what I'm saying? But I hear you, bro.
I'm sorry for being gainfully employed, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man, that shit sucks, man.
Just having a fucking career, 20-something year career. Sorry about that.
Shout out to job, man. Fuck that job. No, I'm just around, bro.
Hey, look, man. That job has done a whole lot for me, brother.
Hey, I'm not even mad, bro. I'm not even mad, bro. Shout out to John, man. Graphk, serious question. Any big news on the draftees we wanted but didn't get? I've not heard anything about Drew Sanders. I heard that Emmanuel Forbes is killing shit right now. Multiple pick sixes in camp off of Sam Howell right now. And I'm hearing Sam Howell looks really good out there at the quarterback spot.
But he's picking off Brett Favre or some shit, man.
But it is what it is. Look, Forbes had like 6 in college right now. He's already living up to hype. You know what I mean? Emmanuel Forbes is balling right now. I haven't heard anything.
Darnell Washington is balling.
Oh, yeah. Well,
my man Darrell White is balling.
Look. Oh, yeah. Darnell White, right?
Yeah.
But look, the young tight end, Darnell out there in Pittsburgh, he ran some little goofy route against like a 4'5" linebacker, and people are giving him praise. It was a terrible route, you guys. It was a one little hiccup, and he was off to the races. I'm not giving him, but I'm hearing that he's unblockable. Let's just say that, right? Because I mean, he's a great blocking tight end. It sounds as though those DNs are struggling, to get to the quarterback with Darnell Washington on the field. Let's just say that. So he's a great blocking option. But wait, if you're going off that one play,
that's right. Exactly going off.
Smoking D&D, bro.
Hey, listen, man. When you see that guy ball out this year with that amount of speed and size, bro, and they're gonna be throwing that ball up to that motherfucker all the time, man.
Dan said Planet Raiders hasn't been moved.
Yeah, I got a right now. Yeah. Hey, man.
Yo.
Hey, man. Listen, I've been having to get busy on Planet Wasted.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Now, hey, everybody know what time it is with Wasted.
I'm about to get going.
Yeah. Salute to everybody here in the building, man. We're still over 500 deep in the chat. Shout to Walt. You, Mount Shillmore. Keep it up. Trust me, you guys provide more content than Hondo, Vinny, and so-called other Raider reporters. Hey, man, look, I'm going to say this, right? Shout out to those guys as well, because they give us stuff to talk about as well. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we all feed off of each other. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. So I salute any beat writer that's out there covering them live at camp and all that, because, we're not out there right now. Now, when I'm out there full time, I'm definitely going to be out there filming shit and doing all that. But right now, they're giving us stuff to talk about. So salute to those guys. You know what I mean?
Salute to everybody who does the work, who puts the work in, who does real good work, and that are positive influences out there for the Raider fan base that give good content, man. Yeah. Like anybody that's a writer or a guy that does the YouTube thing, or people who do like Instagram, like, you got like guys like Mr. Fitz who do a lot of the funny stuff. Like, bro, shout out to everybody who's giving out that good content. You know what I'm saying? But there's a line of demarcation between, real content and bullshit. Yeah. And I'm glad everybody understands that.
Definitely. Shout out to Fitz, too. He called me yesterday. Our wedding anniversaries are the same day. So next week, me and Tiff and him and his wife are going out. We about to paint Las Vegas, go out there, have some drinks, and get the wives together. Salute to my dog, Mr. Fitz, man. It's all about that content. Let me see after y'all crazy, man. With that being said, man, you got anything to say on the way out, man? We're still 510 deep over here, but I don't want to beat this shit into the ground.
Yeah, let's not belabor the point, man. The content was baked, and now it's being served, and now it's time for us to go eat, man. We got to go out of here, man. We got to get up out of here. Thank you guys for showing up today, man. It's a beautiful Saturday out here. And hey, Graphk, man, real quick, I want to say, man, fuck you, man.
Hey, man, fuck you too, bro. Yeah, man. You know what I mean? With that being said, man, salute to everybody here in the building. We love y'all. We appreciate you guys. Do us some favors, man. Go to planetraiders.com. Check out some of our articles. You guys subscribe over there. We're going to be dropping a lot more shit over there. Subscribe to both our channels, Raider Nation Unlimited, OakLosVegas Raiders Network.
The road to 10K.
the road to 10K, the road to 20K. We're going to be pushing these lines here shortly, you guys. We need to get to 10. We need to get to 20. So help us out. Hit that subscribe button. Also, OakLosVegas.com for the drip. Go get you some merch, man. We appreciate you guys as always. Oh, and hit that join button on both of our channels. We're going to be doing some giveaways this year, you guys.
Sure.
Hit the join button. Become members is definitely one of the best ways to support the channel. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Graphk and Wasted. We out. One.